In this lesson, we will roughen our heroine's counter-strike. Let's go ahead and select her character set. We'll show our control objects and select her controls via our script. Alright, so at this point, what's going to happen is she's finally going to leap off of that right foot, kind of twist around to make her strike. So that's what we're about to pose. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to have this happen just one frame after the red character rises for her next attack, just to offset things slightly. So that's going to happen on frame 20. We'll go ahead and translate her over to the side in the Z-axis. And we'll scrub back and forth to take a look at the distance, just making sure she hasn't leaped too far. We'll also want to translate her up for her hop. Great, let's go ahead and check things in her back view. So looking at this, it almost seems as if she needs to be moved more to her right via the translate x-axis, just to make sure she's still hopping in the right direction. Great. Alright, so at this point, we can now start to have her twist around. Let's go ahead and grab her center of gravity control, grab the y-axis using the channel box just to keep an eye on our orientation to avoid gimbal lock as much as we possibly can. We shouldn't have an issue with gimbal for this character, but just to be on the safe side, now we can move her around in the Z-axis to kind of straighten her out. She was too slanted over to her left. Let's go ahead and check the x-axis. You can see how the back is upright when actually we need to have it slanted back so we have a smooth transition from the previous pose to her strike on 20. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. Of course, the pose needs work, but the upper body looks nice. So let's say we start to address the rest of the body. Starting with her left foot, this is getting ready for her landing, so we'll want to have this kind of swing back around. Getting ready for that plant. So let's go ahead and rotate the ankle down. We'll also need to swing her knee around. So let's go ahead and move the pole vector control. Okay, great. Now for the right foot, for one, you can see how the foot roll control is up when it should not be, simply because, of course, her feet are no longer on the surface. So let's go ahead and zero out our rotate channels here. We'll go ahead and grab our leg control, bring this up, swing the foot around so it's kind of pointing at the red character, bring it forward. Then we'll also fix the knee. So because of the type of leap she's doing, we're going to want to take the right foot, kind of swing that closer to the red character. What we're doing is aiming for a good silhouette also. And then for the left foot, let's go ahead and just translate that down slightly just to extend the leg and again make a stronger silhouette and an exciting pose. Great. All right. From there, we'll want to tweak the hips. So go ahead and open them up. And with the right leg up as it is, we'll want to rotate the hips down in that direction and out in the y-axis. If you'd like to learn more about how to animate the hips, feel free to take a look at our walk cycle course. All right, great. Well, the lower body looks pretty good. I might want to take the right ankle and rotate it down just a little bit more. I think the foot was too flat, so we'll need to make sure it's slanted down simply because right here the foot is not making contact with anything. So we don't want it to appear as if it's resting on an invisible surface. All right, so at this point, we can start to animate the swing of the sword. So at this frame, again, she's going to make contact. So let's go ahead and grab the chest and twist that around. All right, great pose. Look at the interpenetration of the left arm. All right, we're going to need to fix that. Let's go ahead and grab the left arm and swing that around over to her side and a little bit behind her. Fix the orientation of the wrist. We're thinking about how the transition would be from the frame before to this attack frame. So it looks like we can have the arm actually a bit more forward here. Tweak the orientation of the wrist, and then of course fix the elbow so it's not pointed forward but back. Great. I might want to, just to push this pose further, lift the arm up here and again rotate the wrist out. Then we'll want to address the shoulder, fixing that so it's not rotated back too far. Great. All right, let's go ahead and animate the sword arm so this pose actually is going somewhere. So we'll go ahead and take the arm, bring that forward, and rotate the wrist so that her blade is actually making contact with the character's face. And what she's doing is actually knocking her unconscious, so the flat part of the blade is what's going to strike the character's face. So go ahead and translate the arm forward just to make sure that happens. You can see how the wrist appears to be broken. So in a case like this, simply go ahead and rotate the wrist up. It's going to have a slight bend, of course, on the y-axis. But then we'll want to grab the sword control and rotate that back down. You can see we're getting some interpenetration with the fingers. So at this point, of course, what we'd want is for the fingers to shift just to make sure she's still gripping the sword the way she should. So we'll take care of that. But first, let's go ahead and fix the shoulder and just get the arm roughly where we'd like it. Making sure that arm is extended for a powerful attack so we can really feel the attack. I'll also go ahead and take her neck control, rotate that around, and her head to point at her target. Okay, so I'd say this is really getting somewhere. I like to fix the spine just so we have a more appealing shape, better curvature. So what we can also do here then is kind of take the back control and kind of translate that back a little bit more just to get a more appealing shape in the spine. As for her left arm, might want to bring that up a bit more and fix the orientation of the wrist. Okay, so I'd say that's looking pretty good. Before going to the fingers, just going through and just double checking the pose, just making sure that she will be balanced when she lands. So that might involve bringing the left foot over a bit more to her right. I'd also like to grab the right shoulder and rotate that down a bit more. It was too far up. The arm was locking up. Okay, great. Going to the left foot, I'd like to go ahead and just drag that down just a bit more to extend the leg. And now addressing the fingers, what we basically want to do is just make sure she's still gripping the sword the way she should. So we can go to the finger controls and kind of rotate them out. Again, the fingers aren't too noticeable, so we don't have to spend too much time here. We just want to avoid as much interpenetration as we can. So we'll just make a quick tweak, and already the fingers appear to be gripping the sword, even though we've just made a quick change to the root of each finger. And the thumb we may not even need to worry about, because depending on our shot camera, I mean, you can't even notice that the thumb needs work here on frame 20. So we really need to be smart about how we block out our animations so we can work as fast as we can while still producing really nice work. All right, so there is our strike. Beautiful. So what we need to do next is animate the follow-through to this. We're just about done. We only have a few more poses to animate. So in the next lesson, we will begin to finalize the blocking pass of the blue character.